All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times.
On the fence. I'm on the fence.
We don't need to talk about that.
We went left hook from Yaoundé came and landed on him, you know, so.
Welcome to the UFC 292 preview show hosted by King's Court MMA. And are your eyes deceiving you? No, they're not. All three kings are in the building. Oh, let's go. Let's effing go.
Come on.
And if this is your first time here, I'm your guy, Obasogi.
Yes, I'm your guy, Marty.
And it's APL. We're in the building, people.
We've got Mr. Tropical Islands, we've got Mr. Worldwide, and we've got, I don't know what I am yet, but we here, we there, we everywhere, we back. We bringing it the hype, we bringing the energy. Let's go. UFC 292, Sunday, 20th of August. TD Garden, Boston. Let's go. Headline: Sterling versus O'Malley for the bantamweight title.
Right, let's go with how it ends first, and then break it down. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You start then. You find it out then.
Yeah.
I've got. Although I personally don't like Aljo. I don't know what it is. You know, it's just like I just don't like him personally.
Is it the 1% Russian in you?
Yeah, maybe, possibly. But anyways, I've got Aljo winning by decision.
Okay. See, for me, like you've gone straight to the end, but I need a bit of foreplay.
Yeah, I need some whiz. That build up was poor.
I'll break it down why I think Aljo by decision, right? Because maybe it's best to do that. So I think Aljo by decision. Why? Couple of reasons. One, O'Malley, he hasn't been here before, so that obviously we don't know how he's going to react to that type of environment where he has to perform and deliver, right? That's one. But two, I just think Aljo is a superior all-round fighter.
All-round?
Yeah.
As an all-round fighter, or in every discipline?
Nah, I think he's a better fighter in all round, personally. So I think the advantage that O'Malley has on the feet isn't as great as what Aljo has wrestling, for example, or in transition moments, etc. So one, we don't know what it's going to be like on this stage. Two, I think Aljo's the better all-round fighter, and three, Aljo's he's got the hot hand, as they say in basketball. Do you know what I mean? Like he's in his prime, he's in his era at the moment. So. And I don't think O'Malley's that guy to stop that train from going. I don't know, but those are my three reasons.
Okay, interesting. So for me, I was very split, and I needed this interaction to be able to make my mind up. Basically, I am leaning in one direction, but it's firstly I don't like this fight because I like both of these guys. I can see why people don't like Aljo because sometimes he's just not a likable guy, really and truly. But I've been recently watching a lot of his build up to this fight. So he's got this series, The Road to Suga Show, and he's funny. Aljo is funny, and he talks a lot of sense. That's one thing. He talks a lot of sense. One thing he still disrespects his opponents, but he's always honest about their skill set. Whereas the likes of Henry Cejudo is just dismissive of everyone's skill set. Like when he was facing Aljo.
That's his gimmick, though. That's his thing, though.
I don't think it is, though. I don't think it is because he got humbled, and it's only when he got humbled by Aljo is that when he actually said, okay, his wrestling is pretty good. Before he was saying his wrestling is nothing. I'm an Olympic champ, and I think he actually meant that. But he got showed by Aljo. But Aljo is more respectful because he's been saying about Sean that. He's quick on his feet, he's fast punching, all of this, all of that. I was thinking, and I was gonna go Suga Show because I think that there's a chance Suga can just do it. Look at these EOPs, Maybe looking at the chart and see me fail. Because I still think Sean can do it because. I think the way that Suga wins would be, a puncher's chance, and Aljo said that. But I think he can keep it on the feet, which is hopefully he's been working on that, because I've not seen much of Sean in the background in terms of his lead up and his road to that. I think he did well against Yan. I think he did well against Yan to try and defend that takedown. And if he can build upon that, which I hope and I believe he is doing, then we've got a bloody fight in our hands. We have. But I can also just see Aljo just try ragdolling and being relentless on that takedown. Relentless, and potentially choking him out.
Yeah. By the way, sorry to interject, Soggy, but by no means am I saying this is going to be a straightforward fight for Aljo. Not at all. Like, Sean's too good on the feet to allow that to happen, and particularly within the early rounds, right? The first 2 rounds, I don't think. I think something similar to Khabib, what we saw with Khabib and McGregor-ish. That type of template, type of fight. Obviously, that was a submission, but I'm saying decision. But yeah, I think that's probably the template we're looking at here.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
I think you man are trying to sell a competitive fight, and I feel completely the other way. I'm like, what are you guys even talking about? Don't be sleeping on the Funkmaster, the human backpack, 9-fight win streak. The guy's an absolute animal, pound for pound, ranked number 6, may I add. 23 fights, 26 in total, 23 wins, 3 defeats. Got way more experience than O'Malley in terms of UFC and MMA in general. Everyone, absolutely, he's a dominant champion. It's dealt with Cejudo, dealt with Dillashaw, dealt with Yan, dealt with Sanhagen. The guy's an absolute beast, and his game plan. He starts quick. From when I watch Sean O'Malley, he always has to find himself in that first round. And he needs reads. He tries to slow it down. Yes, he'll flick the jab out because he's got the length, and he'll flick the few kicks, but the kicks won't all land. He's trying to find that range so he can go in for the kill towards the end of the round to win it. I get he's got a high degree of first round finishes, but that's against poor opposition in comparison to Sterling. For me, Sterling is going to go in hard from the outset. Pressure, gets on his chest, take him down, ragdoll him for 2 rounds, finish him in the 3rd with a choke. He's going to, on the stand-up, he's not even going to watch the wrestling. He's going to go, I'll give you a minute and a half tops of your kicky, punchy. Then I'm just going to use that to take you down, because you're not going to see these takedowns coming down. He's going to absolutely ragdoll him. It's not getting to championship rounds. And by the way, you're forgetting, O'Malley's never fought a 5-round fight. He's never. Even when he was main event, I think they somehow made it 3 rounds. I don't know how he negotiated that. Aljo's destroying him. Light work. Then he's moving up. Light work. And still, baby. And domination. Stop selling this nonsense.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I agree. I agree with you in terms of how dominant Aljo is, and I can see a fight going like that. But you're sleeping on Sugar too much. I think you're sleeping how elite Sugar's striking is. The thing is, even against Henry Cejudo, Henry had a lot of success on the feet against Aljo, which I was surprised at. If he lets Sugar have that kind of, no way, I'm telling you. He gets slept if he allows him to do that.
Are you picking Sugar? If you're picking Sugar, then talk like that. If you're picking Aljo, then why are you trying to sell me something when we're on the same page?
We need a balance. We need a balance, because obviously if you all picked Aljo, then that's fine. But what I'm saying is, Sean's actually got one punch capabilities, right? Let's not even
against who though? Against who? Name the names.
Nah, man, the chin doesn't matter about the name, man.
No, name the names.
Almeida didn't.
He didn't knock out Yan. He didn't knock out Yan.
No, I didn't say Yan. I said Piver. I said Almeida. Almeida, he didn't, but he stopped Almeida. But Almeida kept on going forward against with the mustache.
He lost to Vera. The loss that he still denies. He lost to Vera. Let's be honest.
Well, you asking me to name names, and then you're bringing up somebody he lost to. Obviously, I'm not going to mention that name. What are you talking about, man? You know what? I'm going Sugar. Because you guys. Just don't give it. I'm telling you, this guy is elite. And yes, the guys that he's not one punch KO'd, they're no longer in the UFC anymore. That is very true.
King of cringe.
how you manipulated me to this decision.
Yeah, you folded there.
But I'm in, you know. And the one thing that you guys need to remember is the UFC Dana privilege. I'm telling you, because the UFC want Sugar as the champ. Aljo had to turn around within 3 months after fighting a hard fight with Cejudo. He put out like a week ago a YouTube video in terms of him potentially overtraining and how is he going to be in that fight, because the guy's I think he's been past his peak in the training camp already. Sean's a fresher guy. He's not fought. It's nearly a year since he fought Jan. It's nearly a year. He's going to be fresher. He's going to have he's had that time to analyze and to work on things.
10 months.
And if it goes to a decision, you never know what people are going to say.
The thing is, the UFC have been praying for Aljo's downfall for a long time. I think that personally.
Yeah, I agree.
But the one thing I wanted to bring up in this fight is the issue I have with picking Sean is his style of fighting. Like Sorgi says, you need to get the rhythm and the timing spot on right away. Like from the moment the bell rings, you need to have that down.
Aljo knows this. Aljo's not going to allow him. He's going to close that space. That out. He's going to come out. He's going to shoot.
That's
quickly.
That's the bad thing. He shouldn't. Aljo should take his time. Aljo should take his time, because if he comes rushing forward, that's when Sean can pick him off. Sean will move back and pick him off. I'm telling you, he will.
Aljo, you're sleeping at Aljo.
You're end of round one. That's when Aljo should start.
The dude beat the greatest champion in their division. You're talking like he doesn't have technique on how to evade and take a takedown. The guy's elite. So yeah, I'm glad you picked Sugar, because it's on. It's on. Back your guy.
Stop that.
Sugar is getting turned to salt.
Yeah. For me, this is a fight of who gets their rhythm and timing. I mean, yes, every fight is like this, but more than all those, this one is whoever imposes their rhythm and timing first will win. And if it's Sean, then it'll be a KO. If it's Aljo, yeah, submission. I can see that, but I think, as I said, decision. I think Aljo takes it by decision.
The human backpack is going to have a great night. Sugar Sean is just going to be a little Play-Doh. I hope he comes with pink hair as well, represents that Barbie movie, because he's gonna get absolutely barbified.
It's as you said at the start. It's in Boston. Boston. It's the Irish American. Suga Sean O'Malley is probably 1/6 Irish.
No, O'Malley. It will be 100%. But Aljo loves being booed. You're forgetting.
The stars are aligning.
Aljo loves being booed. It doesn't affect him. If anything, it's going to G him up. In Boston, of all places, a black man going into Boston getting booed like that, it's going to light the touch paper underneath him. He ain't losing because of the ancestors aren't going to let him lose.
Nah, don't bring that into it, bro. Don't bring that, because you're gonna be disappointed. You know, there was like a core of me that saw a Sean O'Malley win, and now that vision is just overtaking me now. Sean is gonna KO him. I was gonna go for a choke by human backpack, but I think Sean O'Malley, if he can keep that distance. Because Aljo gets sloppy with his takedowns. He's got to find the distance first. That's the thing. Keeping it is all good, but he's got to find it first. He can find it.
For the boxing fans who are listening or tuning in, they'll know what happened with Crawford and Spence. Everyone was saying Spence is the bigger guy. He'll knock Terrence out, but he couldn't find his timing. He could. The whole night he tried to find it. It was like he was going on an adventure trying to find it.
It's a different story. Let's talk about apples and apples here. Let's apples and oranges here.
No, because Sean's a stand-up guy. He needs to.
Yeah, Sean's a stand-up guy, but Aljo is not a stand-up guy, and Aljo is not going to be the same level as Terrence, is he, on the stand-up? No.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, the ability to, you mentioned, like you said, he needs to find that timing, and you said that he will. And he needs to find it right away. So, and you're saying he will after a year off.
Yeah, I think he will against an Aljo that is aggressive and coming from the first round. I don't think Aljo should do that. I think Aljo should take his time, and then start to shoot.
Aljo doesn't necessarily. I'm not saying when I mean just get on his chest. Chest doesn't mean a takedown. Just get man in the clinch. Just get on his chest. Just make him get him against the cage. You're forgetting this is like you said. This is MMA, not boxing. So he just has to control him and take away the range. O'Malley needs range. All Aljo needs to do is remove that range, and then it's in his territory. Even on the stand up, that's all he needs to do. Doesn't need to take him down. First round, he can just put him on the fence. And Aljo's big, you remember? He's strong.
Yeah, he's big.
He walks around bigger than Sean O'Malley. He just needs to use that weight and put him on the fence for that first round and just tire him out, empty his gas tank and go, right, now, round 2 and 3, now the takedowns are going to come. He just needs to remove away those weapons, which I respect, which you're calling out. And as long as he doesn't allow Sean O'Malley to get into rhythm, find his timing, find his range, the way he can do that, negate it, is get on his chest, not takedowns. Don't take the risk of getting a knee or, like you said, the back end. Because yes, Sean O'Malley 100% has that clean technique. Because if he does what I just, maybe didn't articulate so well the first time around, it's going to end up being Conor McGregor versus Aldo. He's going to sleep in 3 or 4 seconds. 100%. Get that. Aljo's not going to do that. He's not an idiot. And his camp are sick. His camp are going to give him a game plan. Take away the space. Don't risk the takedowns until you've tied him out a little bit. Then human backpack comes out to play.
That's fair. That is fair.
And do you think Sean can fight going backwards?
Yeah, I think he can. I think he can. Even I'll just said it himself. He's got that footwork because he's been playing basketball and stuff like that. He's good. I think he can. Okay. But one thing I will say, again, Aljo doesn't need no more defense because you two got the defense of 1,000 men on Aljo's turn. But he has been getting good people in his camp. He got Patchy Mix, who's the interim bantamweight champion at Bellator, who brutally knocked out Rafael Starks with one of those knees from from what's his name, Mr. Texas himself. And he's a long guy. He's a rangy guy. So he's trying to emulate, obviously, Suga and stuff like that. So obviously, Aljo's doing his work. As you said, his camp knows what he's doing. But I respect like the guys like Tim Welsh, his Suga's coach, and what they're doing. So let's see. You're all surprised of how the fight went, and how good actually Sean's takedown defense was there. Another year. Yeah. Let's see. Let's go, baby.
I'm excited. I like the tension between us. I like the Mardy against the world mentality. Somebody is going to be eating their words. So, let's bring it on. Let's make it tasty.
Round 2. KO.
And then,
all right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times.
On the fence. I'm on the fence.
We don't need to talk about
Left hook from Yaoundé came and landed on him, so